Maybe you know him. I hope you know him from such excellent shows as United Shades of America. Host, writer, comedian, W. Kamau Bell. I bumped into him in the CNN steam room recently, fondling his Emmy. And I asked him, Kamau, if you could go anywhere on Earth for like a mashup episode of my show and yours, where would that be? He said, Kenya. So, here we are. United Shades Unknown, or Parts United. Scratch that. That doesn't sound good. America's Shadiest Parts. No, that doesn't work either. Unknown Shades.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la.
First time on this continent.
Yes, as a African American, there's a lot of talk about going back to this thing of the motherland.
And it's a seriously radicalizing experience for African American comics who've come here before.
Yes,
Life-changing, so we shall see.
Even walking through the streets, like, I had this feeling of like when I moved from Chicago to Oakland, you hear about Oakland as being this black city, and you get there and it's like, okay, there's black people here, but it's not like, this is what I imagined Oakland was gonna be like. This is like this feels like this is black, you know?
Nairobi means cool water in Masai. It's the capital of Kenya with 6.5 million people living in the metro area. It grew up around a British railroad depot during the colonial era, halfway between other British interests in Uganda and the coastal port of Mombasa. I will admit to a weird, frankly unlovely sense of been here, done that. It's not a good look for me, I know, but there's a mischievous curiosity tucked away in some poisonous part of my brain that's dying to see how Kamau handles the heat, the spice, the crowds, the overwhelming rush of a whole new world. Because that's what it is first time. This ain't Berkeley.
I'm already happy.
Well, I'm pretty happy because I've seen this scene so many times on your show. I finally get to be in this scene of this is gonna be good.
I mean, you have a Kenyan name.
Yes, my parents met in East Palo Alto, California. You know, this is like the late 60s, starting to be the early 70s, so post the civil rights movement, but that point where black people are starting to like really like want a connection to the motherland. And in East Palo Alto, there was this push towards naming it Nairobi, California. Back then, there's people who were like, we need to be associated with an example of African culture that is winning, and that at that point, Kenya was looked at as being winning because they were just kicked out the Brits. And there's all this sort of like, you know, we need to start a whole new culture and a new government. They start like a community college that's in people's houses and in basements and in storefronts. And I was the first baby born to one of the heads of the council, apparently. And apparently there was like a whole ceremony, lasted 8 days, and you know, I picture it like the Lion King. I don't know, there's no pictures.
And yet, a proud Kenyan name, given your background, why so long? Why? What took you so long, man?
I was waiting for an invitation. I think as a black American, I'm still wrestling with my African American identity sometimes, and I'm still wondering, am I doing right by this culture, and does this culture think I'm doing right by them? That's why I don't want to walk around like, I'm home. I also think that like a lot of times Black people in America have really struggled with that as an identity. What is it to me to be Black American? I'm like, I fought hard to claim this identity. It's exhausting, you know. Am I ready to start with a new one? I don't know yet.
Well, we'll see in a week when you head back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Shit runs deep here, meaning best scientists can tell it all started for us in this neighborhood. Tribes of hunter-gatherers, Arab and Persian traders, the Omani, all left their mark. But the British Empire's hold from 1895 to 1964 is perhaps most deeply felt. The British system of education, governance, justice, along with, to a certain extent, its values, were imposed on a native people and laid, for better and worse, much of the foundation for modern Kenya. It did abolish slavery, for instance. It did build a modern infrastructure. It was also completely and fundamentally exploitative, often violent, and, well, racist. Kenya existed to make white people from far away rich. But in 1963, Kenya won its independence and elected its first president, Jomo Kenyatta, and since that time has fought an uphill battle to shake the last vestiges of colonial rule while hanging on to what worked. Things are, by most accounts, going well. There is a growing middle class, a highly rated educational system, and an enthusiastic and multilingual professional sector, which is to say, this is decidedly not a shithole. It's dynamic, it's changing, and it's incredible. Kenya, by Kenyans, for Kenyans. But hurdles exist. Bizarre, almost surreal ones in this case. Mitumba, for instance, also known as the clothing of dead white people.
70% of Africans are wearing secondhand clothes. If we can just make our own clothes and make them cheap enough and make the money and keep the money.
And Jerry Gakira is the owner of Chili Mango, an all-Kenyan streetwear company. Melissa Mbungwa is a managing director at a creative consulting firm.
As I understand it, there used to be 500,000 manufacturing jobs in Kenya, textile manufacturing. And there's now 20,000.
Yeah. Before the 80s, we had a booming textile industry that could employ 500,000 people. But now in the 80s, when the World Bank introduced the free trade, we got all this secondhand clothes coming into the country.
Here's how it works. Your pants or your t-shirt get old or boring. So, being a good-hearted soul, rather than throw them out, you drop them in a charity box, assuming they'll go to someone who needs them. But no. In fact, that charity sells your pants and your t-shirt, along with a whole lot of other clothes, in bulk to a second-hand clothing exporter, a middleman, part of $1 billion industry. Exporters then sell your stuff by the container load to places like Kenya. Along the way, millions of dollars are creamed off in duties. The old clothes are then unpacked, sorted, and sold in markets throughout the country. This low-cost clothing option has absolutely crushed the domestic textile market.
Now, some countries in Africa have said, wait a minute, this is not good for our employment situation. We're not going to let this stuff in anymore. What happened then?
So America came and they told us that they would have trade sanctions against us.
If you didn't take all this used clothes.
Exactly, because of the free trade.
It's pretty much oppressive. Yeah, it's neocolonialism.
USA.
Yeah.
As screwed up as the whole situation is, people do love the availability of cheap clothes. And Toy Market is the place to go for what in New York City would be called vintage. A dense labyrinth of shops neatly organized by specialty.
Honey, I brought all the Uggs back from Kenya. There's got to be something in your size.
The challenge today is going to be finding footwear for Kamau's decidedly non-Kenyan feet, not to mention mine.
I need a half size up.
Oh, nice.
There we go. I had to come to the continent to find shoes that fit me.
High five. Hi, Ted.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's just be clear, some rich, annoying American person who bought these, wore them twice, and then was like, ew, they're out of season.
Yeah.
Well, Debbie Harry's shirt is kind of cool. I will take this for sure.
Well, here we go.
Oh, nice.
Oh, there, now we're talking. Black man in America wearing a King Kong shirt.
Oh, yeah, wow.
So, yeah, I don't know how it goes over here, but in America. That's a great narc shirt. Right. That's a great, like, hey, kids.
Anyone want to buy some acid?
This is just weird enough and simple enough.
That is pretty cool.
I feel like I could tell. Where did you get that shirt? I got it in Kenya.
Yeah.
Is there a realistic hope that the textile industry would come back?
There is, to me there is. You know, China and South Korea, they didn't leave poverty or like stop being poor by importing secondhand clothes. They did it by building all these factories, being able to export the stuff that they're producing. So it has to happen the same way with us.
Everybody needs a superhero. In Kibera, Nairobi's largest neighborhood, they make their own. Part of a project run by the Masai Art Collective, intended to empower kids who don't otherwise have much.
There's a Swahili saying, it says, sanaa ni kioo cha jamii. Art is the reflection of the community.
Well, what we did is to make art, we use it as a tool.
So many stories have been told about Kibera.
But they're negative stories.
Negative stories.
Many organizations come here in Kibera, they shoot videos and films of talking about AIDS, drugs, you know, negative things about Kibera.
So you have a lot of documentary crews that come through here and film crews that come through here?
They usually come here.
So I have a question. Are we assholes? We can talk around it. We can talk. I feel like a white guy right now. You know what I mean?
Kibera is massive. Around 172,000 people live here.
So here, as a person named Kamau, I'm not unique.
Yeah, very common.
I've waited all my life to be common.
Welcome home. I'll go and tell our forefathers you are here.
Thank you.
Mamito Unis is a comedian. Simon Okuku, a musician. And Jeff Ochieng, once voted Kenya's funniest person, are all using art to tell a new story about Kibera.
It started from the challenge that we have been facing in this life. Like me, you know, I've been brought up by a single parent. I used even to engage in criminal activities. Coming across my fellow friends and who have been passing to such kind of messes, we decided to come up with an organization known as Kibera Creative Arts to try to teach these our fellow young people to make them avoid getting to these traps that are set for us.
Kibera is also ground zero for what's called around here the white savior complex, a focal point for the more than 12,000 mostly well-meaning expat aid workers who live in Kenya. It's a dynamic that can be counterproductive, as salary and employment discrepancies can cause a ripple effect of problems for native Kenyans.
Yeah, man.
Many Kenyans are working on a grassroots level to take control of their own future. Kibera Creative Arts being an example. Artists and performers from the neighborhood working to support and develop local talent.
What is it like to be a comedian in Kenya? How does that look?
It's so hard to make people laugh in Kenya. Yeah. You imagine these are people who have not paid
their rent.
These are people who have gone without food for some days.
So they come in angry.
Yeah.
Angry and hungry.
You should take me with this camera when I was small. Now that I've grown big, let me be taken by big things.
And that's the reason why when we go on stage and make people laugh, it is a plus. So we say, wow, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love to make more people happy because there's always ups and downs in life, but we will always laugh.
You know, when people see Mamito performing and they see all the people seeing Mamito as a star, if Mamito is just performing and she's now a star, I don't need to go and drop somewhere to make me a star. I can use whatever I have because I think even in Kibera, we have some things that we can show to the world.
By regional standards, Kenya, Nairobi anyway, is particularly tolerant. Kenya has become a sanctuary of sorts for a number of diverse ethnic, political, and social groups. One such group with a steadily growing nucleus is the LGBT community. Not too long ago, a nearly unthinkable development.
So you shall never know this pain or awkwardness, when I'm doing shows in the States. I often find myself, so, what's it like being black in America? Now you will share my pain. What's it like being gay in Kenya?
Oh, yes.
Kawera Murichia, Malcolm Muga, and Awara Nyango are members of To Revolutionary Art Love, a gay art collective. Kevin Washiro is a writer and journalist.
So how free can you be? Like, are there places in Kenya where you can walk around holding hands with your partner?
You could try, And
are there places you could go where it's not an experiment?
No, I think at all points it's an experiment.
Well, so where's the threat from? Where is it most dangerous?
I think the violence is like from homophobes. All of it is based around like desire of the penis, right? So if you see two women kiss, it's hot because you think you can get in there. Yeah. So like,
penis belongs there.
Yeah.
Oh, they're just one penis short.
Yeah, like they need me to help them out with the dick.
Yeah.
But if you're
just in abundance.
Yeah. And the violence like against like lesbians always comes in the part where like men realize, oh, they're not attracted to me.
Much of the news concerning gay rights on this continent continues to be pretty grim. It should be pointed out that even being gay is still illegal here. But in February of 2018, the Kenyan National Gay and Lesbian Rights Commission filed suit to strike down sections of the laws, arguing, well, the obvious, that they violate basic human rights. What happens next? Well, a lot of people are holding their breath.
If the law's overturned, what are the larger implications?
If we win this case, I'm happy and scared at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why scared?
Backlash, obviously. It will happen. There will be people who will be attacked.
Yeah.
I mean, we're moving to an extreme end of freedom. Yeah. And there'll be hate. I mean, I want it to happen so bad.
Yeah.
If it happens for us, it'll be inclusion for every other minority in this country.
Whatever bus you're taking, it ain't like this. Crosstown traffic just got a little bit wilder and more fun if you're riding the friendly skies of a Matatu. Matatus are privately owned and operated bus lines running regular routes, fiercely competitive, to the point that owners started making modifications in an ever-changing range of themes designed to attract the fickle commuter.
Oh, yeah.
got subtle.
All right, let's do it, man.
Culminating in buses like this. Mad Max, a rolling, post-apocalyptic, seizure-inducing party bus. Just the thing you need after a hard day's work.
I'm not trying to dance. It's making me dance. I don't actually want to dance.
So what do people want on their Matatu? What do they have to have?
First of all, you need to have good music. The exterior art needs to be popping.
Widescreen TVs?
Yeah, TVs, Wi-Fi, air fresheners.
Beers and goat's head soup, a global classic. Slow cooked, well, goat's head. My companion, Mr. Bell, unaccustomed as he is to the ways of Africa, is new to this dish. And I don't want to sound all Colonel Mustard, but I eat this shit for breakfast by now. You know what I mean?
I hear the words goat head soup, and I think, oh, yeah, it'll be meat from the goat's head in a soup.
I'm goat head.
I didn't expect to actually see a full-on head of a goat.
Brian Wanjama Obiando is a blogger, photographer, and chronicler of the Matatu phenomenon. Lucia Alessandra Murato is a legendary conductor. Catherine Camboon is the owner of Mad Max.
Honored guest.
Honored guest. Yep. Is this I meeting right here?
Song.
I generously reserve the best and most tender bits for my friend, as one does. I fear, however, that he was less than enthusiastic, initially anyway. Wait till he tries the brain, he's gonna love it.
That's my first eye.
Yeah?
That's my first.
Right.
Yeah. I knew I'd end up doing something like that with you.
Get over with that. Well, so you own the business.
Yeah,
And how long have you been in the business?
like 5 years.
We want to get into the Matatu business in New York.
Yes.
And I'm thinking about some improvements.
Yeah.
We need a hot tub. This could reinvigorate public transportation as we know it.
Especially in New York and Delaware, where people don't like the bus. And what does it mean to be the conductor? They don't just let anybody be the conductor.
In this job, you need to have a lot of patience. Just somebody who's had a bad day, they just don't want to pay. If you don't have patience, you just find yourself on top of the moon.
So can you tell me, what's it like growing up as an Italian Kenyan?
The challenges I had as a kid was my hair. Everyone wanted to touch my hair. One thing I love about this job is that I meet all types of people. And I don't look down on them and they don't look down on me. That's the best part of it.
Just wait until New York City sees Kamau and my joint venture, the Wolf Blitzer. A few hours' drive from Nairobi, it's another world. The Africa of dreams, of films, the natural world. But a world under constant threat. Lewa Wildlife Conservancy seeks to address the problem of keeping all this alive and safe without excluding or marginalizing the people who've lived here for centuries.
This is Dave, guys. Look at this guy here. This is Dave the giraffe. He's a residential giraffe. Hi, Dave.
Our guide is Kamau Bell. He grew up in a village near here and has a deep knowledge of the wildlife of Lewa.
This is significantly better than the zoo. I guess it goes without saying. Yeah. For some reason, I had a negative connotation of safari.
They used to shoot animals in safari. There's our kind of safari, and then there's the, Trump Jr. safari.
Yeah, I think I was afraid every time I said the word that people just, what are you doing? Like,
no, this is good. This is a good kind of safari.
Okay,
it's good for the world.
Okay, good.
100%. Good for the world.
Good for the world.
So good for all the
I think we need another word or something.
See an elephant?
Where?
Right there.
Ouch.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you see them in a zoo closer, they're behind bars, and it just doesn't feel connected. But I feel like we're right here.
Yeah, he's actually going someplace.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's not just walking in a circle. He's actually got stuff to do.
The fact of the matter is, these magnificent animals would most likely be gone without the intervention of man. People pay a lot of money to come see these animals. Without that money, the overwhelming likelihood is that they would have been wiped out long ago, particularly this one.
Whoa, what?
That's a rhino. That's a fast rhino.
Wow.
The Conservancy was set up specifically to protect these guys. Poaching is, of course, an ever-present danger to both the animals at Lewa and the people who look after them. Particularly the rhinoceros, whose horn is believed by wealthy Chinese buyers to be a strong medicine with virility-enhancing powers. The reality that the substance that makes up a rhino horn is the same as the human fingernail does not deter a market that will pay tens of thousands of dollars for a single horn. With 62,000 acres to cover, Lewa's anti-poaching program is necessarily aggressive, inclusive, and cutting edge, relying on local trackers, advanced tracking technologies, and perhaps most importantly, good community outreach and intelligence gathering. If the local people are not on your side, you are at a serious disadvantage.
So that's a white rhino.
And it's a white rhino?
That is a white rhino.
And how do you
It's nothing to do with the coloration.
Okay.
White was an African name, white, which means wide mouth. And whoever came to write about them put a knee there, then it became white.
You said white rhino, and it was like,
yeah, it's not white.
I think his dad might be black.
Does it look like you wanted it to look? Or expected it to look?
I mean, no. I mean, I guess I don't know. I mean, I grew up as a kid, Probably my first images of Africa were Tarzan,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I knew what Kenya, Africa was,
What a shithole, right? I mean,
What a shithole. I mean, the other thing I'm aware of, too, is that thing about, like, not wanting to feel like I have come home,
Mm-hmm.
And yet there is a sense that there is this diasporic connection, even though I did not come from Kenya,
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to have that connection, even if the frame that connection was built through was colonialism, It's the good part of colonialism. It brings people together.
I don't know, this should kind of be compulsory viewing for.
Yeah.
Like, if you ever run for president, this should be compulsory.
At the very least, I do think that a lot of perspectives will be opened up, a lot of minds will be changed.
Traditionally, we've had some sort of conservation culture which sort of got eroded. It's been with us. It's been with our forefathers. We just lost it somewhere recently, and we're trying to get it back.
When you have traditional pastoral communities under intense and immediate pressure, trying to convince them that wildlife, which can, as in the case of one rhino or elephant, bring in life-changing amounts of money, it's a hard thing to convince them that it is in their long-term interest to let them live. Particularly when it was often wealthy white outsiders doing the asking.
If you were very successful in managing this ex-cattle ranch as a conservancy, but wildlife across Kenya as a whole had no future, then to all intents and purposes, you just established a zoo. And so what Lewa's ethos has always been is to show Kenyans that actually wildlife can have value and benefit.
Mike Watson is the CEO of the Lewa Conservancy. Tom Lulampa leads the Northern Rangeland Trust. Faith Riunga is the head of education at Lewa, and Wangiku Kanothia is the head of communication.
You're responsible for a larger picture involving a huge challenge. First, the immediate needs of a lot of people, but also potential conflicts with the traditional way of life. How have you been able to do what you've been able to do?
I was born and brought up in a very strong pastoral background. We were really anti anything about conservation, really anti. Because one, we had a perception that this is a government thing, this is about grabbing our land.
It probably also doesn't help that a lot of that land is owned by white people, right? Somebody else is owning our land.
Initially.
Okay.
There was also a perception that conservation is being driven by the whites. And so it's not about the communities, it's not about us, it's about them. But gradually we came to realize that the approach that was being introduced was a community approach.
Going back 13 years back, there was one girl who made it to high school. And she's speaking English, she's dressing up, and the other girls are like, you know what, I'd like to be her. And the more and more and more they've seen go through high school, graduate, slowly by slowly, they get to see the value themselves. Education works very well.
Are there efforts for people in the community who couldn't afford to come in here to sort of see what's going on in here so they can have a further buy-in?
We have a conservation education program here where over 3,500 school children can come onto Lewa free of charge, get to see wildlife. Because, unless you can afford to go to national parks or to places like Lewa, then you definitely wouldn't have the opportunity to interact with wildlife.
So we're headed towards the lions? Is that what we're doing right now?
So now you can see at the peak, you can just see something sticking there. That's a lion sitting.
Oh, yeah, I see, right next to the little tree.
Wow.
Whoa. Well, there's a bunch of them.
Yeah. If we're lucky, they might come down the hill.
That's lucky.
If we're lucky.
We define luck in different ways.
They seem to be having their eyes on something. He's gonna turn. He's gonna go left.
Oh yeah.
So we have
Oh,
a
jeez.
good position.
How are you doing, lion?
So the lion is about like 30 feet from us or so.
Look.
Just my family, I love you. That's just in case.
Just outside the borders of Lewa Conservancy is a Masai village known as the Ilangwesi Community Range. They are working with Lewa to not only embrace conservation, but also to maintain their way of life.
You know, in Masai traditional way, we've got our diets, which is meat, blood, and milk. At least once in a while, they do blood tapping.
To the Masai, the cow is a sacred animal, giver of all things. Unlike the West, meat is not the primary interest. Here, cattle are sustainable, a long-term asset for milk, for cheese, and on special occasions, blood, straight from the tap.
Okay, here we go.
Whoa!
All right, well done.
Well done.
Annoying as hell for the cow, no doubt, but decidedly not fatal. It might, however, prove fatal for my colleague Kamau, who, unlike me, has never experienced this local beverage. A warm jet of arterial blood into the gourd. Add some thick, clotting milk, also from cow, shake, and down the hatch.
Would you like to have a sip?
Yes. Here we go.
You gonna try?
Here you go. Oh, you're gonna like it. It's good.
You'll like it.
And keep in mind, the whole village is watching, and you are on TV.
I'm home. Yeah.
Makes you strong.
Yeah.
Well done. Thank you. Thank you.
Working with the local Masai community is both an absolute necessity and the right thing to do. To displace and forever disrupt the people who've lived here forever in favor of animals that wealthy white people want to take pictures of would be hideous and unconscionable. This is happening elsewhere on the continent, but the people at Lewa and Ilangwesi are working very hard to find a better path.
He's saying the meaning of the word Ilangwesi. It's the people who survived, you know, by hunting and gathering. And hunting wasn't what we understand of hunting today. It was hunting for survival, for food, not for business, not for selling trophies and stuff.
Jonathan Kip is a Masai chief. Lila Kenyaha is a Masai elder here at Ilangwesi.
Was this an easy or a difficult transition? Or was it imposed from outside?
The transition first is when the poachers or the sport hunting was happening. We think it was a Western idea.
Yeah.
And we were not beneficiaries of it until when an idea came from Lewa and said, well, we can join wildlife conservation for the future of this land, for the future of the future generations. I think they did what we say, you know, teach a person how to fish instead of providing a fish. So they taught us how to fish. And from there, we are not being driven by Lewa anymore, or any white person or any NGO. Lewa is still a great, great neighbor. So we need each other. But we are not really dependent of each other anymore. We value the game, we value the animals, and we know where we're heading to.
And just like that, after months of drought throughout Kenya, rain.
I was told since I'm Kamau from America, I brought the rain.
Right?
Yeah.
Well done.
Bringer of rain.
Yeah.
Who gets to tell the stories? This is a question asked often. The answer in this case, for better or for worse, is I do. At least this time out. I do my best. I look. I listen. But in the end, I know it's my story, not Kamau's, not Kenya's, or Kenyans. Those stories are yet to be heard.